Here's practical daily game dev advice that I wish someone had given me when I started. So number one is plan your week in one sitting. Planning while you're tired after work is never a good idea. So what I like to do now is to plan my week on Sunday night. After everything's done, after the weekend's over, after we put the kids to bed, after I get any game dev done, plan what's going to happen during the next week. I don't make a huge list of what I want to do. I list out a few things, maybe 3 to 5 things that I think I can get done within the week. And then I block out the time. I see what I have going on in my schedule, what I have with work, what I have with extracurriculars with the kids, and I figure out how much time I have during the week to get my tasks done. And then I can determine what tasks I can get done and how much time I can put towards those tasks. When I do this, I try to block out 30 to 60 minute windows. I try to do more, but at least 30 to 60 minute windows. If you want to get real serious, but you don't have to do this, you can use Kanban boards or Trello boards, or put it in your calendar, or you can just write it down in a notebook. But having it there where you can reference it, where you can keep track, it's really good and really helpful so you don't forget or you don't lose track of what you plan during the week. Now, this is not a game design document. This is just a weekly schedule of blocks, light time periods of what you think you can get done and when you can work on it. So number 2 is protect small, consistent blocks of time. Sporadic, long sessions are nowhere near as good as short, consistent sessions over time. So what I like to do is block off around the same time period every night to work on my games or to work on YouTube or to work on whatever project I have at the time. And I do this by cutting out the things that aren't important, like playing games or watching Netflix or scrolling on social media, and I use that time to work on my game or whatever project I'm working on at the time. Remember, 30 minutes a night is way better than 3 hours once a week. A simple trick you can do to not get distracted is to turn off your phone or to turn off notifications or to put your phone screen down and put it somewhere else in your room so you're not distracted. Put some headphones on, listen to music so you don't hear if notifications go off, and stay focused on whatever task you're working on. Another trick you can do for this is to set a timer, say a 25-minute timer, and work 25 minutes straight without any interruptions, then take a 5-minute break, and then repeat the 25 minutes and so on. So number 3 is always leave yourself a starting point. The hardest part with game dev or coding is getting started. It's figuring out where you left off and what's the next best thing that you need to get working on. What I like to do is leave a sticky note by my computer or write it down in my notebook of what to do next. I do this at the end of every game session at night. It lets me know tomorrow what I need to do next because there's a million things going on in my head and I'm always forgetting what's important, what I need to do, and there's always new ideas coming up. So this is a good way for me to figure out or to remember what to do tomorrow and how to quickly get into that task. So what you should do, or what I like to do, is write down specifically what I finished and what I need to do next and where's the best place to start that task. The worst thing to do is to sit down and to work on your game and just stare at a blank screen and not remember what needs to get done next or what is the most priority or what is the number 1 priority to get done. So number 4 is use the MVP first rule. Scope creep is the number 1 killer for game dev projects. If you don't know what MVP means, it's minimal viable product. It's the most basic version you can produce, you can share with others. So a simple way to achieve this is to create your core game loop, your win-lose scenario, in a simple playable loop. You don't need to add any extra features, no out-of-the-box ideas. Keep it simple and get the basic version of your game out there. So number 5 is simple project organization. Disorganization wastes more time than lack of skills. A perfect example of this is naming things correctly or organizing things correctly in your game. When you first start your project, you should create things like a script folder, an asset folder, a prefab folder, maybe enemy folders, player folders. Get that out of the way because you're going to populate those with certain assets, certain prefabs. It just keeps your life a lot simpler and more organized when working through your game. Another thing you should focus on for organization is naming things correctly or naming things in a way that's easy to understand. Instead of naming a script, script 3, or test script, name it something like enemy slime attack. This will help you later down the line when you're creating a much larger project or complex project and you create dozens of scripts and you don't remember exactly what everything does or exactly where everything is or even exactly what you created. And it's an easy way when you're searching for things to find things or have some context out of the box and understand things quickly. Another thing I like to do is use GitHub, and specifically GitHub Desktop. I used to use Terminal when making all my commits and pushes to the repo, but recently I switched to the desktop version and I find it way easier and way quicker to use. I don't have to pull up terminal and write any commands. I write a simple commit, a specific commit of what I did that day. I commit it and then I push it. And it's super simple and super easy and super user friendly, especially to you who don't have a software background or don't know how to use the terminal very well. So number 6 is time box problem solving. It's really easy to lose an entire night of development to one single bug. A simple rule that I like to follow is if I can't solve a bug in 30 minutes, as long as it's not an extreme project breaking bug, if I can't solve it in 30 minutes, then I like to write it down and save it for the next day or another time. This allows me to move forward on features that I need to get done, or mechanics that I need to get done, or any other problems that I need to solve, and I'm not wasting an entire night of dev to solve this one problem when it's not that important. Now, if it's a project breaking bug or something where you can't compile or can't run the game, then yes, you probably need to solve that and focus all your time on that to get the game to a running state again. Another thing you can do with this is after you write it down, and maybe you write down a few issues, you can put that on a forum, on a Discord, on a group that you're in, and ask for help and ask for others to solve it, or ask if anyone else has run into that issue. You can even use AI now and throw in issues, and they're pretty good at solving problems, figuring out what issues you have. Sometimes they're a little finicky and they're not that helpful, but usually they have pretty good suggestions on what it could possibly be and solutions to those problems. You should try to leave every game dev session on a high note, on something that you made progress on, even if it wasn't something you planned on working on that day. There's nothing worse than starting up your project, getting into it, and then finishing your night of game dev at a worse state than you started. You really should try to finish each night on a positive note, on something that you achieved. It really helps with morale, and it really leaves you in a positive state and not wanting to stop working on your game. So number 7 is weekly review and adjustments. So without reflection on your game, on yourself, you're going to repeat the same mistakes over and over. Now, you don't have to do this all the time, but it does help once in a while to reflect on what you did that week. You can ask yourself these simple questions. So what did I finish? What slowed me down? And what's the number one focus for next week? In the software development world, we call this a retro or a retrospective. It's what went well, what didn't go well, what were blockers, what were issues, what we could work on, what we can improve. It helps us identify issues on our team, on ourselves, in our project, in our code. It helps us improve as a team, improve as solo developers. It helps us become better at our job, better at our tasks, better as team members, better as solo developers. So number 8 is keep a fast start toolkit. This is something I haven't talked about before, but it's extremely important. And I haven't talked about it before because it's not something you can really do from the get-go. It's something that comes over time. So as you build out your games, as you build out your projects, you're going to start building small systems internally, whether that's a character or character controller or enemy system or progression system or UI system. You're going to start building these out, and you're going to start realizing that you can just reuse these systems. You can import them back into your project. You can copy them back into your project, and this will help speed up your time, speed up your production, and improve your quality of game and improve your morale, your skills, and how quickly you can get games out there. You might want to keep a project that houses all these systems, or a folder somewhere on your computer that houses character controllers, UI templates, progression systems, AI systems. And when I say AI, I mean enemy AI, like moving through the system or decision making, not AIs like Chat, Claude, or Grok, or anything like that. You can also do this with assets or things you download for free or create yourself, or things you buy like music, sound effects, particle effects, anything like that you don't want to keep searching for or having to go to stores or pages to get down to download, and you can just keep them all one central location, and it speeds up production drastically. So if you're interested in going deeper on this topic, or you want to be supported by a group of developers, like-minded developers like you should check out my game dev group, 10th Legion Games. There's a link in the comments. So you don't need endless hours. All you need is systems that make the most out of the hours you actually have. Start applying these systems today and you'll see progress every week. And if you're in a place where you're unsure what to do today and what to do tomorrow and what to do for the next year, then you should check out my roadmap here where I go over exactly what to do from day 1 to day 365 every step of the way on your game dev journey to get you ready for the next step for your commercial or your Steam release. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.